So, Sabrina, welcome. So we're just going to show you a compression knot, which is a way that you can get rope very tight in a singular line. So from point A to point B, maybe I'll turn the music down. We use this in many rigging applications quite often. If we have an organic garland from point A to point B and we want to tighten it, mind you, if you're ever rigging an organic garland, don't just tie it really tight from point A to point B, add a point C by triangulating, by pulling it out, and you can have multiple points to shape it. But the very start, if you're doing an outdoor thing, is generally a compression knot from point A to point B. In this example, we're talking about it because we're going to be rigging something possibly from a line that's tied between two different points, and we're going to be dropping a third rigging point between the middle of this line. And the tighter that line is, the less chance that it's going to bow. When you add a bit of weight, it'll bow quite considerably. So it's also called a truckies knot. So I'm just going to tie it to two things over here. That doesn't really matter what it is. And if this is my line, like you could be using 100-pound nylon, and that's my second point over there. So quite often we're coming over here, it's the one line, we're continuing over to this point. So the first part is you create a loop, right? So you just fold the rope like this and tie it in a loop like so. Okay, so just create a loop. You can double knot that, especially if you're using fishing line. A double knot will stop it from sliding out. Because I know my next point is over here, so I've tied my loop with a bit of distance between here and there. I'm not going to tie a loop right next to it, because the next point is we're going to go through that loop and compress. Okay, so a bit of distance. If it's too far all the way over there, then I need heaps of extra rope or line to go all the way back to that point. So just loop around your point. It could be, a post or an eyelet or something. So loop around, go through the loop with your excess. So at this point, if you're working off a roll, you got to cut it because you need the end available. Right, so I've gone around my point B through that loop that I've tied, and I'm going to tighten it. And with nylon, it's going to stretch, so you will have actually more length the tighter you make it. Right, so if I keep going, I'm going to pull that table off. Right, and then I can go through that loop again with my extra line, and so on. Right, every time I go back, forth, I'm doubling the amount of rope required. Right, so if that one line that goes up and down is double, like this is half a meter, so I make a meter. So the force I need to pull is actually halved. Right, so I've gone up, down, like twice. So that force is divided by 4. Right, so I can actually, I'm not going to do it now because I'm going to pull that off. But if you've got two very strong objects, just say a concrete column, right, and a concrete column, and you can use this 100-pound line. You snap a 100-pound line, tying, like going back, forth. So even another good thing about this knot is, even without tying it off, it has a lot of friction, back, forth. This little motion here, so it enables you to, with very little force, hold a lot of force, right, and then tie your loop. Because quite often the problem is if I just go around here and tie it off, it's going to bounce out before I can tie my loop. So you lose that initial part of compression. So that's one way of doing it. So you have your loops, back, forward. You can also do it with two ropes. So you can just have that piece there and you tie another piece and you go back, forward again with two loops. So I could even have a little bit of compression in here itself, right? So I've already got it tied off and I can just get another rope and tie that like that. Probably the last thing to talk about quickly is garland. You can use the same technique. When you thanks. By by having a garland parallel to another garland, and if I want to tie the two together, if I tie my knot to here first with nylon or whatever I've got, and then go up and just roll it over the line, down, roll it over the line, and back up like a zigzag, and then I pull it and it compresses. It's actually doing the same thing. You've got heaps of line over a short distance, and it's by doubling the length, you're halving the force required, and you can pull that like a zipper and pull it together. Same principle, but in a different way.